Hey, this is Maverick. I want to welcome Bourbon Leather to the Slacker82Alpha family. They are our new sponsor for the show. They're the ones who do our hats. If you've seen the hats that I wear on the show, that's the ones that they do. They offer custom leather patch hats made with real full-grain leather. So make sure you check them out at bourbonleather.com and tell Freddie Maverick and Goose sent you. If you use the promo code SLACKER, that gets you an additional 10% off. So if you have a show and you want hats for the show, or you just like wearing hats like I do, get them, man. These guys are great. The product is great. The hats are great. They're comfortable. I mean, you can't ask for a better hat. And they're reasonably priced. So once again, make sure you go to bourbonleather.com. Make sure you tell Freddie that Maverick and Goose sent you. And again, use the promo code SLACKER for 10% off.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Entire world is burning up. Look up, you're surrounded.
All right, welcome. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, Goose, where are you, brother? Oh, there he is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, bro. One's in the house.
Bravo.
He's not in the room. He's in the room. He's not in the house.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hear me all right? Everything good? Sound good?
Everything good. Everything good. Yeah, the mic is good. Everything's
Wow,
good.
it's been a long time. Feels like we've been gone for like forever or something. Mike Tampa Bay's in the house. I know. It's like we haven't done this in like 2 weeks. We haven't had a show. I mean, we're running old shows. Let me bring in the stations real quick. I want to welcome 105.7 The Face, Patriot Radio, Earth Radio, MBR, Military Broadcast Radio, UG Media in the UK, J Parker Radio, Paisley Radio in the UK, FCM Live, Sword Radio, The Hit Network, FTM Radio, and Crystal Radio. All right. Everybody's here. We are good to go, I think. There, Goosey. What's going on, Goose? A lot of shit going on since we've been on last.
Oh man, I'm gonna say, why the hell do we need any more freaking witness? We had the main one today in freaking Capitol Hill, and we still want to prosecute fucking Trump when we had Donald testifying in front of a bunch of freaking haters and people on TV. You had the opportunity to listen to the main witness or the people who perpetrated the biggest fucking crime in our country freaking history. And people still want to prosecute freaking Trump. I don't give a shit what you guys say about the man, but we got a bunch of freaking criminals that continue doing whatever they want to, whenever they want to. If they don't like you, they're going to prosecute you. Let me tell you guys from the FBI. It's not the FBI, the low echelon. It's the high echelon, the out of control. Found out today that many of those people that work for the FBI, they didn't freaking know what was going on. That was a high echelon. They were hiding and cooking all the bullshit that they did against Trump. And they continued doing the same thing. And for you guys who are not convinced and keep talking about the same freaking smack shit that you're talking about this every day, keep dreaming. This shit will never stop. Will never stop because they're going to do it to Trump. Trump will die and they will continue doing it to everybody else. We just got a great deal yesterday for freaking Hunter. Everybody else will do many years, but he didn't. He didn't do a freaking New York second in jail.
Read some of the stuff in the chat room here. Mike Rage said the FBI is the new crime syndicate. They should be abolished. We agree 100%. They should do away with them guys.
Well, you know, I was thinking it was everybody, but you gotta cut like the top 1/3 of the FBI. Cut off the freaking head off.
I say go further than that, even
maybe half.
Yeah, you gotta.
No, I mean all the agencies, they are messed up. I mean, it's really bad what's going on. We lost our country. We honestly, I don't freaking know. I don't freaking know how to fix this shit anymore. And I don't want to make the wrong freaking comment. I don't want to say we need a freaking civil war because I don't freaking know what we need. Okay?
We need a revolution. I don't think we need the Civil War.
It's not. But how you going to call a revolution? You need the complete freaking country to go against the government. You don't. You got 50% of the country.
I think if we had 50%, I think we could do it 50%.
Yeah, but you don't have 50%. You got 50% against us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you gotta remember, not all the fucking people out there are gonna be grabbing their arms and going to fight. Most of them are gonna run the other way. So, I mean, right there's that 50% that are against us is probably now down to maybe 25%. I'll give them 30%. I don't think it's going to be much more than that. It says if we keep the FBI, they should be like MI5, just intelligence. They can even arrest without deputizing local PD. They are useless. I agree. They're useless. Goose, we only had 50% in 1775. So there you go. 50%, Goose. That's all we need to take back this country, I think. But what's Eric saying here? What's this voting?
Obama was involved. Everybody was involved. Uh,
Oh, we didn't
Adam,
hear it. You said you were like cut off for a minute there.
I mean, Obama was involved. Everybody was involved in this bullshit. And they continue doing the same thing. Adam pencil neck shift, freaking arrogant as hell, trying to confuse and question Durham. We all kind of stupid question, you know.
I mean,
And
going back to what you were saying about Hunter Biden. I mean, are we surprised? I mean, really? I mean, are we really surprised that I'm
well,
any
I
charges
was
not at all? I mean, I thought there was going to be no charges at all, and I made
well.
that.
I thought he was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be no charges, and I was thinking too he wouldn't be charged anyway. He was gonna be pertinent by his dad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
But it would be really bad optics, you know. He didn't
yeah.
want to do that like
Well,
that.
I think that's what they did. They figured, well, we can't do that, so let's just get him on these these three low things, two tax charges and a fucking gun charge. I
Yeah,
mean, you know,
what a stupid they
and
were
as long
fighting.
as he pleaded guilty, there was no jail time. I mean, come on, you know it was all worked out ahead of time. That shit was.
It's stupid shit like, oh my,
We lost you, Goose. I don't know what's going on with Goose's mic today, but yeah, I mean, you know, we all knew that. We all knew that there wasn't going to be he wasn't never going to see the inside of a jail cell, and I've been saying that forever. You know, everybody went, "Oh no, they're gonna." No, they weren't. They weren't going to do anything. I mean, it's total
freaking
bullshit. The justice system is screwed. There must be something wrong with your mic there, Goose, because you keep dropping out.
maybe it's the freaking dogs. I don't freaking know. They might chew my freaking mic. I don't know. Piss me off too.
If any American citizens, they would have locked us up. Exactly. If it was the other way around, Goose, just like Mike said, if it was the other way around and it was us, we'd be under the jail. There would have been no negotiation to take a lesser charge or anything like that. They would have just thrown us in jail when you would never seen us again. I mean, and like we talked about off air the other day, Goose, about the justice system. There's a justice system for the rich people, and there's a justice system for the people like us. And we're the ones that see the jail time where the rich people don't do anything. They don't see anything. They don't see any jail time, you know. And that's the thing, that bothers me. I mean, everybody knows that we're Trump supporters and, but I'm very critical of Trump on some things. But with this thing about the charges that the other guy got, the aide or whatever the hell he is, that he's got some conspiracy or I don't know, I forget what it is. I had it in front of me, but I don't see it now. But that guy will go to jail for 5 years. I think the max is 5 years on what he's being charged with. So he'll go to jail for 5 years, and Trump won't see any jail time. And now I get it. They say, oh, well, Trump can't be, protected in jail and all that stuff. And I get it. I do. But that just shows you the justice system is for the rich and not the poor. This poor guy doing what he was supposed to be doing or what he wasn't supposed to be doing, because I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out in court. But he's gonna, if it goes down that way and it gets to the point where he gets convicted, he's gonna do jail time. Where if Trump was, it would be Trump's gonna be on house arrest or some bullshit like that. I mean, but that's just a perfect example of let me see. Let me read what some of these people are writing here. Eric said breaking GOP controlled House has officially censored Adam Schiff, and the California Democrat is being referred to ethics committee investigation. Mike Rage said, I got local P on my ass just for being watched by the FBI. You can imagine what they would do to me with those charges. This whole government, along with the corrupt judicial system, all needs to be investigated. And you're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, you're totally 100% right. It is. It's just the justice system is so screwed. I don't know what the answer is to fix it. To be honest with you, and I don't know if it can be fixed other than us taking over and rebuilding and starting over again. Hang on, let me get Goose back in here and see if he got his mic fixed. You there, Goose?
Here, can you hear me?
Yeah, we
I
hear you
had
now,
to
buddy.
let the freaking mic go, so and I put the
All right,
dog inside the freaking cage.
all right. We just hear the birds in the background, but that's okay.
The
So,
friend.
what were you saying there, Goose? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was. I mean, this is where our freaking founder fathers, warn and argue about it, and the argument, the Constitution Convention in the 1787 about all this bullshit that's going on today, man. And we just standing, sitting down, or doing shit. And you know how they're treating our freaking patriot, then freaking in jail and freaking confined, solitary, spending 12, 20, 30 years in jail, man. All this freaking abuse that's taking place in our country. And we all just sitting here and fucking laughing about it and arguing about Trump and arguing about that. They are the one doing the damage in our country, not Trump. No, nobody else. It's this freaking White House. Bunch of freaking haters spending $400 million in every finger's goddamn stinger. Come on. Give me a
Yeah.
fucking break. Come
Uh,
on, Americans, wake up. $400 million in every single fucking stinger. And then every freaking time the Pentagon come with a freaking mistake about how much money they sent to Ukraine. This is the kind of bullshit going on in our country. Then you see O'Keefe sent that fucking video yesterday or day before yesterday. You see it on Twitter? When BlackRock talking about the bullshit money that they're making, huh?
yeah.
And we still fucking voting for the fucking idiot, and we still trashing Trump. That's what Trump's trying to fucking warn you about it. All this fucking bullshit that's going on in our country. Yeah, and you want to kill Trump. Give me a freaking break. You should be talking about Biden, all the corruption that's going on in our country.
Yeah. Well, no, look, the good thing is this: is they're going after. Hang on, let me read here real quick. Chat. It's all about demoralization of society. Government has instilled fear in the American people that they are in control. Everyone is too complacent and comfortable in their homes
We
to
used
stand
to
up and
pay
up.
$25,000 for a stinger. Now we pay $400 million. Give me a break. Do you guys know what a stinger is?
Did you hear what I read from the chat room there, Goose?
No,
Uh,
no, what
it
happened?
said it's all about demoralization of society. Government has instilled the fear in American people that they are in control. Everyone is too complacent and comfortable in their homes to stand up to the corruption. I mean, I agree. I think that there's still not enough people. If you want to say awake or whatever you want to call it. After this next Biden proposal, we will be taxed
It's
50.
only Maverick's only one solution. When
What's
you
that?
have the debt ceiling and
Yeah.
they vote for the budget, shut it down. Don't vote for it. Let If you let people feel the pain, then they're gonna start going the street. Okay? If we gotta take a hit, take it now. I don't want my kids to take a freaking hit. I'd rather take the hit now and to make sure my kids don't have to deal with this shit.
Do it
But
later.
my kids are the one who gonna be dealing with the bullshit that we are scared to deal with because we are a bunch of cowards. So this is what our kids gonna inherit: all this bullshit, all this money, all this debt, and everything because we're a bunch of cowards and we don't want to.
All right. Goose's mic is dropping out again there. Eric, welcome to the panel. While we're waiting for Goose in the mid sentence, he cuts out. So,
Well, and I'd have to say, like Mike Rage down in the chat, who wrote the last two comments that you read aloud. I mean, he's spot on, and I've even wrote comments that are spot on because I think it should really, be a case of it. It's no secret that we live in a two-tier justice system society where people like us, Maverick, and people who, like in this live chat, like Rocky Raccoon and Mike Tampa Bay and some of the usual friends who you and Goose and Bravo are used to seeing, it's basically, for us, it's like we have to obey the law or else. But then the people in power, they're the untouchables. Like, we can't touch them.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you. I mean, we all say, revolution, civil war, but I don't know.
Or making a run on the courts.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. And, everybody, oh, well, when Trump gets in, he's the answer, But, you got to remember, we still have
people got to remember.
We still have a year and a half left of Biden.
Well, basically, what people got to remember is Trump is not God, y'all. I mean, because, and we've said this on previous shows, like, about, like, the whole, like, deep state shadow government mafia. Could he have come out and said, my fellow Americans, we're under attack by a shadow government mafia figure called the deep state? I mean, yes, he could have, but here's the kicker. That if he had come out and said that, a majority of people like you and me, Maverick, the majority of Americans would not have believed him. A lot of people just laughed off or said that Donald Trump was full of shit. So he probably had to lose this election in order for us to see it the hard way.
Yeah.
And we would come to our senses at some point to say, Donald Trump was right, and nobody believed him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but like I said, I mean, we're still. I don't see him on there, but then it said here, Mike, you on the air?
I don't see him on the panel, but I know Rocky Raccoon. Oh, Mike Rages, yes.
Yeah,
welcome back. See him on the panel.
Oh, there's Rocky there. Let's get Goose back.
I see Mike on the panel.
See, I don't see him on mine.
I don't know if Mike Rage has got a working headset and to where we can hear him.
Oh, maybe not.
People don't want me in the goddamn show. They know I'm talking the truth. A bunch of freaking haters. Go ahead, shut me down again, you freaking idiot.
What's going on with that mic, Goose?
No, it's not the mic. I'm not using the mic no more. They're just shutting down my freaking line all the time because I'm telling the freaking truth. They're a bunch of fucking imbeciles. They're killing our fucking country. And we are a freaking bunch of goddamn cowards. We are not doing anything to defend our country. We are just giving it to our kids. Our kids are the ones that are going to have to do what we didn't do.
Right.
People have been trained well, Goose. Pass it on down. Don't worry about it. It doesn't affect you. And people are blind to that crap. They think that all they have to do is just stand by and it'll all get taken care of. Well, the government pushes out trillions of dollars to create problems and never put any money in to correct it.
God dang. Stinger, $400 million. I can't catch that one yet. And there's yesterday, the freaking Pentagon report, they make another freaking mistake. $6.2 billion. God damn, why you don't make that mistake when you send checks to Americans?
They did the same thing when they blew up the Pentagon. They lost $2 trillion, 2.6.
Well, I think you are bringing up a valid point. Like, it's basically it went from checks and balances to a blank check.
Yeah. There's no accountability in our government whatsoever.
On
From
the other
federal
side,
all the way down to local.
I got somebody who said we aren't going to make it. We aren't going to 2024. He said, I'm assuming he means that we will not have an election in 2024.
I kind of agree with that guy. I mean, if you strongly, I'm freaking mad. I'm not freaking scared. I'm mad. I'm mad because we are not doing shit. But I think something's gonna happen big. And
I think that it's going to take something big. I think something big has to happen, and I hate to admit it that I'm agreeing with Bravo on that. That something big has to happen. To fix it.
Yeah, guys, we're not going to 2024.
Never.
It's not going to be the same. If we have some sort of 2024 election deal, it's not going to be the normal one. It's going to be
Guys,
something
not gonna be
unusual.
never in our
Normal
country
is only a
history.
concept.
Never
Right.
in our country history.
If you notice, there is
Never.
no normal anymore.
Never
That's
in
it.
our country history, in the last World War I, World War II, and the different conflict, the different thing that was missing was this gay shit that's going on in our country. This gay shit that's they're trying to put this shit through our throat to make sure we do that transgender shit to our kids and all that stuff. I think this is the limit right here. Right here, this is, I think, where God's going to step in and say enough is enough. I think this is where God's gonna say, "You guys are done." You know,
Hey,
because in
Goose.
World War One you didn't have that shit. World War Two you didn't have it. No other country, no anywhere else. Now they're out of control. Everywhere they want to drive this shit through, you got them out.
Hey,
Everywhere.
Goose. Hey, Goose, just remember, Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed for the
Thank
same
you.
reasons we're
Thank
working
you,
right
Raccoon.
now.
Thank you, Raccoon. And that's what I feel right there. Yeah, I know fear.
Yeah.
My fear on that, I'm trying to be spiritually right with
Yeah.
God to make sure when that come, I'm ready. You know, but
Hey, hang on, guys. One second. Mike, welcome to the panel.
Yeah. Name me one time in history when you start bringing that shit into society, as society thrives. No, it consumes itself and it destroys itself from within.
It calls Rome to destroy itself.
That's right.
Look at the shit
Get
was going
rotted
on in
from
Rome.
within, and then
It
it gets
also
taken
happened.
over
It
by
also happened
external.
with the Egyptians too.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how are you?
We can hear you.
Sorry, my mic here.
Yeah, how about that Hunter Biden deal? Man, I wish I could get a deal where the day you get the charges, they negotiated a deal that same day. What a bunch of shit that is. It's called the injustice
Why
system.
does that surprise
You know
you?
what? The
Why-
average person can't even. Any type of infraction you get is $5,000 to $10,000. You got to come up with what poor person can come up with that shit? Nobody,
it goes
right?
back
So they got
exactly
to take whatever deal that these little crooked bastards make for you and ram it down your throat. It's an in-fucking justice system. It needs to be tore down, just like the rest of this shit does. I hope Trump does get in there, and I hope he lights a match and burns the whole thing.
Hey, Bravo, just remember, all the prisons and all the jails are privately owned and funded by the government.
Right. And they have to keep a certain quota. They want that money
Yep.
coming in.
Yep. They do it by the head, just like they do welfare. So much a head. Kick out them kids, mamas.
That's
You know,
right.
get more grocery money, more tattoo money. Might be able to afford that Cadillac payment.
Yeah, did you see the interview with Jim Caviezel? He went to the adrenochrome. He went into the shit, man. He's going into the whole trafficking, the 34 to $40 billion a year industry that's destroying. They're kidnapping our children. They're raping them. They're selling them as slaves. They're doing all kinds of shit. And what are we doing? Sitting around here saying, "Oh, Trump, he does nasty tweets." Fuck that shit.
Bravo. I strongly agree with you about that. I think we should take Trump out of the question. I know Trump do some stupid shit, but I don't think he's the one killing our country. I don't
Hell
think
no.
he's
He's a patriot. He loves
And-
America. And he
I
loves
agree
Americans.
with you on that, Goose. I
I
agree
don't
with
think he's
you.
the one sending the checks to Ukraine. I don't think he's the one benefiting from the freaking $400 million Stinger freaking race.
All right, hang on. Hang
All
on a
of
second.
it.
Hang on. Let's see if we can get Mike in here.
Yeah, I'm in there. You want to
Okay.
hear my opinion?
You're a little low, but we can hear you.
Breaking news: Adam Schiff got censored by the House, so
Yeah,
I
we-
hope they put a big stick 18 inches through his freaking back. That way they can bang his freaking,
Amber,
torpedo.
welcome to the show,
Hey
Amber.
friends, did you miss me? I've missed you
Oh,
guys.
we did. Did you miss
I
us? We've been
totally
gone for
missed you
2
guys.
weeks.
Even
Yeah,
as Eric,
no,
I was talking about you guys, so Eric's my witness.
Yeah, I had some things to do, so we had to. We were running old shows while we were away. But welcome.
I mean,
Well,
the
never
gates
mention.
of hell, they are open. The gates of hell are open. And the devil always barking, but if you get close to the devil, he will freaking bite you. So long you don't get close to the devil. And we are right there, close to him,
Ju-
okay?
just remember that prophecies say that when the Euphrates and Tigris dry up,
Mm-hmm.
that's when the gates of hell opens up, and it's dried up.
I want to
Yeah.
ask everybody on the panel a question.
Yeah, it makes way for the
Hang on,
kings of the East.
Mike is trying
All
to
right,
talk.
Bravo, hang on. Go ahead, Mike.
I just want to ask everybody a question.
Uh-huh.
Where were you when Trump was in office ready to fight? The problem is everybody was too comfortable when Trump was in office, thinking he was the savior. Everybody should have been fighting then to prevent all this corruption and everything that's happening now.
Mike is correct. Everyone,
I
everything on
have
his
to agree
shoulders.
with you, Mike. I have to agree with you on that too,
Yes.
because I've been saying it.
That's what we talk about. Mike is right. Freaking
Yeah.
Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's a freaking perfect freaking point. 2 years stole Trump freaking agenda. And all these rhino, instead of helping, like Mike say, they're totally trying to stop Trump. Totally.
Mike, why do you think they're stopping
They're all
Trump now?
involved in
Because
it.
if all of us would stand behind him and shit would actually happen. That's why
But
they're
why
going
Dick
after him
Cheney?
so
Because
hard.
you know why? Because he said he would obliterate the deep state. You know what? They're quaking in their boots because of him. That's what I love about them.
Yeah,
Hey,
but you
They're
Amber.
scared
They killed the
shitless.
last president that tried to do what he's doing right
Hey,
now.
Amber, why
Okay.
Dick Cheney don't
Hey,
get
hey,
charged
hang
for
on, guys.
classified document?
Guys, we got a lot of people on the panel, so we have to
Try to speak one at a
speak and not
time.
run over everybody. Yeah, try to do one at a time because that way everybody can get their word in there.
Dick Cheney had more classified document than the freaking Pentagon, and nobody charged him.
Hillary Clinton, same thing, and she wasn't even a president. And Dick Cheney never was either. He's VP,
Well,
so was
and
Biden VP.
even Biden, and
It's showing the two-tier justice system. Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
well, like I
Right.
mentioned earlier, the way our two-tier justice system is for all of us, we have to obey the law or else. But for the powerful elites, they're the untouchables.
The only good thing about this is that they've just opened Pandora's box because you know what?
Yep.
Wait till Trump gets in there. They've just set themselves up to have it
Trump,
rammed
hey,
down their
Bravo,
throat.
I don't know if he's gonna get there, man. They might kill him.
They'll get there. They'll
Hey,
get there, man.
hey,
Guys,
that's where we're a little bit different. I believe that this is an operation, and this is what's coming next.
Mari, you
That's
think
what
you're
I've
gonna
been
kill
telling
him?
everybody, Bravo.
Mari, you
Yeah.
think you're gonna kill Trump?
Well, I'm surprised they haven't tried.
Depend on Trump. If you
Yeah.
want something done, you're going to have to stand. I hate to say it. Listen, Trump got in office, and the reason we didn't see everything he promised was because he realized how corrupt the system was, and he couldn't get it done.
Yes.
He
Thank
realized
you.
how far the deep.
Yeah.
You got
You also
understand.
Hang on.
Take
you also have to remember.
Raccoon, hang on. Let him
finish.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
it takes America to stand up to make a difference. Not Trump, not one president. A president can't do it on its own. He needs the backing of the people, and he needs the people to stand. Problem is people were complacent when he was in
Not
office.
this time around, though. They're going to be in with
Hell
him.
no. Yeah.
No, that's because the information's out there right now, and
Right.
everybody's feeling it.
Yeah, remember, it was just starting to get released to the people. We were blinded. I mean, a lot of people were blinded that they didn't even know what was going on. You know what I mean? It was Trump and the people behind him that released all this information to let people know what's going on.
I think what Mike's trying to say is why didn't we stand up? Why Trump was in office the first time?
Because
Why
we
are we
didn't
waiting
know.
now?
Well, I mean,
no, well, we knew of the corruption. We were aware of.
I mean, how are we going to stand up other than what we're doing like today, creating a show and getting our voice out there? I mean, other than voting. I mean, what else could we do?
Hey,
Hey guys,
Maverick, this is the magnitude of corruption. It was so big. The only way to stop it, it was for him to remain 4 more years, but they outsmart us by the
Yep.
COVID-19 and the corruption
Guys,
of stealing the election. They had a
Yeah.
great plan, and they accomplished their plan, stealing the election, and they
Yeah,
stopped
Mike,
Trump.
Mike's got a rebuttal for you, Goose. Yeah, Mike.
Listen, number one, you guys say you didn't know. People have been speaking about it. I've been speaking about it for 15 years. I wrote a redress of grievance to the governor of the United States. I went to the White House. I went to the Capitol. I still have the redress of grievance sitting here right in front of me, signed. And if people would have actually backed it up, got behind it, and signed it, none of this that's happening today would be happening. You guys have to understand, the Constitution has things in there that protect the people, and if you utilize it, you can make a difference. A redress of grievance is a prime example of how the people can get behind it, and they can stand up to the government, and the government has
Yes,
no.
I understand, Mike, but
Yeah.
like I was telling you early, telling the audience, and we talk about the 50-50, only 1% of our country, today's society, serve the armed forces. Do you think that we have the freaking fortitude, freaking courage to go out there and do what we need to do? Hell no.
No.
Only 1%. I served 20 plus years, and you know how hard it is to get at least 3% to serve our country? Hell no.
Mike.
It needs somebody like Trump, the pesticide man, to wake up the people
Oh, but it
and
only
do
took
that
it only took
to get the
3%.
people going.
It only
My
took
turn. My
I
turn.
need to get a beer. We'll be back.
Right.
Okay. Something that we have to understand is a lot of this information has just came out,
Right.
and most people were asleep.
Right.
A lot of people are still asleep to the idea.
So Slacker82 is
have-
going to get it done.
Well, hold on. A lot of people are still asleep
Let
to
Rocky
it.
talk.
Okay. And in order to make it work, we have to get a majority of the population behind it. Now, not everybody's going to fight, okay? Just like in the Revolutionary War and in the Civil War, not everybody fought. Everybody has a job, though. If you're a carpenter, you're going to be building stuff because shit's going to get blown up. You're going to grow food if you're a farmer. You're going to be doing manufacturing if it's available to be done. And a lot of people are going to come out of the woodwork that are going to open up these little shops and businesses to help the effort, because they know that if we have a war here, it's going to be a lot of devastation, especially in the big cities where you got millions packed in. Those people are going to be hurt really, really hard. People in the outlying states, not so much, because you can be scattered. Like out here, you can be scattered 15 miles from your nearest neighbor.
To give you an idea, when Al Capone took over Chicago and took over the whole state of Illinois, I mean, those people didn't like them riding down the streets with machine guns, shooting people and everything. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the same thing. They didn't. There was nothing really they could do about it other than speak out against it.
We had opportunity to accomplish something. You stop the budget. You stop the freaking debt ceiling, and let the people feel the freaking pain for a couple months. I bet you they get out on the street, start fighting because they don't have something.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah, they will.
Stop that freaking money. You see when people gonna get mad and gonna start breaking shit up.
Okay.
That's
Amber's
opportunity.
Well, to what Mike said, I could see how frustrated he would be because he's been awake longer than a lot of people have. So many of us, and I'll say even including myself, I got like little tidbits here and there where I'd be like, oh, something's not right here. Something is definitely not right, and I think it's this, but I had no way of proving it. And so then you just go about your life because they have you on this hamster wheel, and the matrix was so well done and so articulated, and God's timing is perfect. And I think God used this COVID thing. He used the election fraud to really open a lot of people's eyes. And what I was told is, and now I haven't fact checked this to be true, but what I was told is that only 13% of people fought in the Revolutionary War to free us from
3%.
3%. 15% were awake, basically.
Okay, all right. So if you take that and look, we won, right? We won the war. We defeated the king. We became our own nation. We don't need 100% of the people, and God has been waking up people little by little. I had a lady on my show. She was an immigrant from Australia shall be on next week, I think. And we talked back and forth. And God has handpicked people to do certain tasks. I know for a fact, I heard God's voice tell me to pick up my mic and start broadcasting. And I'm like, God, to who? I haven't broadcasted on radio in 9 years. And God has opened my doors to people I never thought in my life I'd ever meet. My friend that I interviewed, she got to sing in front of President Trump and meet President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Why? Because the circle of our friends knows President Trump. I mean, I never would have thought in my life I'd be writing a bill to help protect children who were getting taken from medical kidnapping. I didn't even know that was a thing until President Trump starts talking about the child trafficking. He opened the eyes of middle America to see how really every institution's corrupted. And I see a lot of wins, guys. I do. You want to know what's happening right now? Okay, the credit unions. My credit union keeps hiring like crazy. Why would that be? I have to believe they're leaving the big banks to go to a credit union to help defund the swamp, refund the kingdom type thing. Then we see the Budweiser.
No, that's the new program.
And like Mike, you can't say there wasn't good people trying to do this. But there wasn't as many as there is now because nobody was awake really back then. And people like us were awake, but what can you do? There was a lot of educators. There was a lot of scientists that have been whacked. There's a lot of people that have been whacked one by one that's tried to go against this system. This is a freaking mob system. This is a syndicate.
Bravo.
Make your point and then let other people speak.
Bravo. Amber, you're talking about the new program the government's trying to implement. I think they call it FDA, something where they're going to count everybody's money. They're going to have control of everybody's money. Those credit cards. Yeah, they're going to have control of everybody's money. Now,
don't go with reject Fed now.
Nice. Reject it. Going on Mike's point, I want to go more to Mike's point. Tucker Carlson made a good point when he left Fox News. He said, I should have listened more to the people that we call conspiracy lovers because a lot of those conspiracy, they were true.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to give you all.
Let me get Mike's point. Yeah, Mike.
I'm going to give you all a reality check, and this is what I want everybody to realize. Since you brought up currency and everything like that, CBDC has already been implemented in the United States. By 2025, it'll be in full effect. Guess what? That means we lose our Constitution as an American people. With CBDC, they have full control over everything in your life. If they don't want you to buy a firearm, you're not buying it. They control everything. This is what people need to be fighting and start worrying about this financial system and stop thinking that credit unions and all this are going to exist because it's all going to digital currency. If you look at the new licenses in Oklahoma right now that they just started friggin' issuing, they're honestly going to be a payment system card, a license and everything all in one, just like China has. You can look what happened with CBDC in Nigeria, and I'll tell you right now, force them into CBDC, and it's going to happen in the United States. That's what we need to be focusing on, and that's what we need to be.
Guys, they just raided an arms dealer in Jersey the other day.
That was in Great Falls. That was in Great Falls.
The data and everything, the gun purchases and everything. Why? They didn't have no excuse. The Fed went inside there. One of the biggest arms dealer in the country. Come on, guys. Open your eyes. It's happening.
Goose, that was a guy here in Great Falls, Montana. He got raided, and the IRS came in and took all the 73s or 72s. They took all the paperwork. What the hell does the IRS need with the gun paperwork? It's not financial.
Go get my bullet.
I was going to bring that up. That would happen.
Go get my bullet. I gave it to you.
Well, and I think another thing Amber would probably be delighted to bring up a little bit later in the show is, she mentioned.
Guys, hang on a second. Go ahead, Joel.
Who?
We have a caller on the other side. That's on the.
Joel,
go see if we can hear him.
Go ahead, try it, Joel. See if we can hear him.
Birds.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
We can't hear him over here on Podbean.
Oh, you can't?
Nope,
No,
not on
he,
the
he
beam.
sounds like a bird.
No.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
But you
Oh,
can go ahead and repeat what he said, Mary.
the James O'Keefe interview.
Oh yeah, we Black Rock.
Yeah, the
I
problem
say
is,
that earlier.
Joel. The problem is we can't hear him. They can't hear him on the Podbean side.
Yeah, you heard. I mean, I sent you guys the O'Keefe interview with Black Rock. Yeah,
I've already seen it.
I
yeah,
didn't see it.
yeah. I sent it to
Send it to
Mary
me,
and
please.
Bravo. Yeah, it was a
Just
very
text
good.
it to me.
Yeah, I will. Mary, send it to Amber
There,
O'Keefe. It's in Twitter, Amber. Yeah, one of the guy from Black Rock, talk about how they made all that freaking money with all this chaos. That's why they make the big money, and that's what I mentioned the $400 million stingers. Come on, $400
well,
million, one stinger, one
yeah.
shot, 400
And,
million.
and guys, if you think Bitcoin's going away, I mean, you're pretty naive. BlackRock is actually getting involved with Bitcoin now and in the whole crypto market.
Bravo, they
They,
don't
they
need no
control over
freaking
$20
crypto.
trillion in assets worldwide. It's not
Bravo,
going anywhere.
they don't
You're
need
going to
no
have the
crypto.
poor people that know nothing are going to be stuck with the CBDCs, and the people that have money and that are awake are going to have the crypto. That's the way it's going to go.
The way you're going to be able to transfer money, hide it, and listen, all your side hustles out there, and I hate to say this, especially for you guys out on the streets, and all, it's all going to end. CBDC, it's all controlled and it's all recorded.
If they win, they failed in COVID.
Listen,
If
Well,
they
they said
win,
it's
Yeah,
going
they
to start
also-
they
up in
fail at
July.
They also said we were going to have 500 million, and the Georgia Guidestones got blown up.
Yes,
Right?
if they win, and I don't
Yep.
think they're going to win because you know what?
Not.
Your state banned it. I think Ohio banned it. I'm
Amber.
looking with the state legislator here to ban it. People know about it. Get in with your credit union. I'm going to go to the meetings and tell them not to accept the CBDCs. I mean, there's
Yeah,
ways
but
to
Mike
fight
is right.
this.
They are pushing. They are pushing for that, but they're not going to win, Mike.
Well, Amber,
They-
they're taking Trump out. They're
Right, but
taking
if you
Trump
guys
out.
are addressing to Mike, you guys got to let him hear because he's a little bit lower than the rest of you guys.
I do shows on this all the time. I talk about our financial systems all the time. CBDC is already implemented in the United States. You guys have been using digital currency since bank cards came out, and you don't even know it. But they
I
actually
don't have a bank card.
out of
Hey guys, Mike's right.
Goose,
I
Goose,
gotta
let him finish.
guys.
Goose, let him finish. Let him finish. Yeah, Mike.
Remember, I told you guys about email that I got from a senator that I got forward to me.
Goose,
They're
you're
gonna
cutting everybody
eliminate.
off,
They're
bro.
gonna eliminate the dollar. They're gonna eliminate the dollar to do all this bullshit that they do in digital. Okay,
All right.
I'm
Goose,
trying to
let him finish. Let him finish. Yeah, Mike.
listen,
we let them finish, man. We
No, no.
already did.
about the
Good.
financial market all the time, okay? And I'm going to tell you, CBDC already went through it, already passed, it's already implemented in the United States. By 2025, the American dollar will be gone. My prediction. You're going to have a transition period, but they're going to push it hard, and you're going to have no choice. And just like you guys were complacent when Trump in office
Wait,
about fighting government, the same thing is going to happen with CBDC because
Maybe.
they have.
Yeah, Mike, that's what they're trying to do. But if you go with what Trump said, Trump said the dollar will be a treasury dollar. It's not going anywhere. The Treasury took over the damn Federal Reserve. I write my IRS checks to the Treasury now, and that started back in 2017. You don't write them to the IRS anymore.
Listen,
The IRS is just a shell corporation.
Bravo. When you make your point, you got to stop and let somebody else.
I'm not done yet. I'm still talking.
You answered something.
Well,
So
I haven't said anything the whole show. I'm trying to get in
Okay,
between.
Normally you run the whole show over.
Yeah, well,
Let him.
Hey guys,
He's
the
a new
CBC
listener. He's a
that's
new
fine. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, that's not in the United States yet. The CBDC, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, collaboration with the IMF and other
He said it.
central banks
Not the fact that it's
proposing, let me finish, proposing common conditions for retail payment. It's not on the United States yet.
It's not
Well,
fully
no one said it
implemented
was
yet.
here yet, Goose. That's my whole point. He's telling you what's coming, and you're saying that he's saying
He
it's
said,
already.
No,
it's
he says it's
approved.
already
It's
implemented.
already
It's
here.
approved. And Amber said that she don't believe it's approved, and I just read it. That it's not approved yet.
Oh, shut
Right.
up.
Fed
right.
now
I mean, we're
program is-
using digital money
Listen.
through the banking systems, but it's not the CBDC system yet.
Right.
That's on the quantum financial system. No, it's not.
Just try to take money out of your account over $9,000 and see what the hell happens. You find out that the banks are the ones controlling the damn
In
rate,
the
the
United
treasury.
States, there are now currently two types of central bank money.
Goose,
That's
we can
it.
hear you. You don't have to yell. We can hear you. Turn it down.
Okay.
Every
that you
state
don't-
has the
I
ability
thought
to
my
make their
mic
own
didn't
money,
work.
Goose. Every state in their constitutions have the ability to make their own money. It was done
Physical
long before the
currency.
Fed came around. They used to have their own state monies for a long
Guys, I'm
time.
just trying to read you what the law is.
Goose, we know it's not here yet. We know it's not in the United States yet. We're aware of that.
Right.
It's the Fed now portion.
But what I'm
starts
saying
in
is
July.
there's something going on in the background because until 2017, 2018, you used to write all your corporate checks for your taxes to the IRS.
I know
Now
that,
my accountant says, do not write IRS on there because the Treasury gets mad when you do that. You have to write U.S. Treasury. The money goes to the U.S. Treasury now.
It's controlled by the federal, but it's called another name.
I believe that they don't have the power they used to have.
It was another name, Amber, what they're trying to create. I forgot the name, start with A, but it's still controlled by the federal government. Yeah. So, I mean, like Durham said today, you can find everything in Google.
And Google lies to you. Try not to use
Yes,
that.
it
Yeah, no
does.
shit.
Yeah, they lie sometimes. You're right, but
Mike, you are right. I am so proud to meet you today because you're right on a lot of things. And the CBDC is something we need to be cautious about. They can, and it can happen, but we have been defeating them. And I have hope and optimism that this will be defeated too. So, and if it doesn't, well, then we'll just have to
Amber.
figure it out then. But we're trying to fight it now. And I have
Amber,
hope
we're
that it's
trying
gonna
to
be
defeat
stopped.
everybody, but we haven't defeated nobody. We need to defeat
That's not
Biden
true.
first.
That's not true. We destroyed the COVID narrative. We
Well,
should
how
have
many-
all been in
right-
concentration camps by now. You, me, and everyone on this panel should have been locked up in concentration camps. Every single American would have had shots in their arms. We would have still been in masks. We would still be locked down. We have defeated the COVID narrative. This is a huge victory. Now we just have to figure out how we're going
Amber,
to defeat the election.
So
fraud.
we still
Well, exactly.
suffering
I was just going to
under
say that, Amber. I was just going to say the same thing.
Well,
Amber, we're still suffering under this regime, communist party that is controlling our country and throwing everybody behind bars.
And what
Yes,
you guys
but
just
then
need to
look at the
remember is we
hearing.
got a year and a half of that shit left.
Yes.
Yes, you're
Um,
right, Maverick. It sounds like we got 10 years left, not 1.5. It's still that
Exactly.
way.
well, and I think another thing. I apologize. Another thing Amber might bring up a little bit later in the show, and she mentioned this on another podcast about like this like saga with medical kidnappings, and Texas recently passed a law like for emergency room cases to get a second opinion.
That's right.
You know, where doctors violate their Hippocratic oath, and I'm glad, Amber, you brought to my attention Lake Georgia legislator Nancy Schaefer and her
Yep.
efforts to bring an end to this child trafficking thing.
Right.
And because I remember back when her and her husband, it was like an apparent murder suicide, but I know you don't seem to really buy that case
I don't.
there.
I don't, because
And
the child
efforts to try to
traffic-
bring it to Arizona.
Yeah, I brought that Texas law to Arizona. Well, it hasn't passed yet. We're going to introduce
You're gonna
it
try
next
again.
session. Yeah, we're going to introduce it next session. We're going to reintroduce my bill next session. If anyone on Podbean knows any state lawmakers whatsoever or knows anyone in government, I would like to put my bill in your hands to pass to your state legislator, because I've already sent it to Nebraska, Texas, Missouri, So anyone who has any state lawmakers, I would like to get in contact, because how we're going to fight is us as states coming together. And the child trafficking is such a big money-making scheme, and that's why I do not believe that narrative about Nancy Schaefer and her husband murdering. He murdered her, whatever the thing was, because it's a big money-making thing, and she was exposing it.
34 billion. The
and
whole
look-
aircraft industry is only 22 billion a year. Think about that. I mean, it's huge.
All right,
I
hang on.
mean,
Jim
these
Caviezel
people are
movie.
sick.
All right, guys, hang on 1 second. There's
We're
a
gonna
lot
let
of
Mike talk.
there's a lot of people on the other side, and I just want to read some of the comments that we're getting. It says Trump ain't winning shit in the general election. The election wasn't stolen. Donnie Boy got his ass handed to him by an 80-year-old man. Get over it.
Oh,
Hang
that's
on.
a
Wait a minute. Hang on. There's a little more.
Clueless.
All right,
What-
hold
what's
on.
his name?
Let me finish.
No, I want to hear Maverick. Go
Let me
Maverick.
finish. 100% serious. Many people like myself, many of my friends and family voted against Trump as opposed to for Biden. Republicans, hang on, I want to get all his stuff in there. Republicans need better policies that don't only pander and support to the super rich. How about that? Republicans need better policies that tend
What's that?
that is
Get on the show, buffoon.
there's a reason why Republicans struggle in the 2022 midterms. Bad policies, and many of their would-be voters died because they didn't want to get vaccinated. All right,
Wokeism. Wokeism.
we
Wokeism.
opened up a big box there.
It's not
Go
That's
ahead,
fine.
Mike.
They can believe that. I mean, that's
I'm
Well,
they want to believe the
Hey,
mainstream
they're
media
allowed to
report.
be crazy and nuts.
They
Well,
want to.
Free
That's
country.
okay.
Guys, we
Well,
all can't talk at once. We all can't
Pride.
talk
I think
one at a time. One at a time.
I'm going to basically say to that person who wrote that comment, like, I don't know who this person is, probably don't even care to. I would basically just echo former Vice President Mike Pence. For the record, I'm not a fan of him. You are entitled to your own opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts.
There
Hey
you
guys,
go.
Maverick.
just take a look at my monitor there.
At your monitor.
Okay, it tells you that my icon. Just take a look at that.
Raccoon.
Where's your icon at?
It's okay.
It's on the board. Just
He said, it's okay. You disagree with me. I can't force you to be right.
All I'm saying is, I want you guys to look at also what is happening. That makes us know we are moving forward. The Jim Caviezel movie, Sound of Freedom, they have been trying to hide that movie. They have been fighting for that movie. It's been 2 or 3 years to try and get it out mainstream to the theaters. It's finally happening the 4th of July weekend. Please go buy your tickets. Support that film, because Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel, they're trying to expose the child trafficking, and they're risking their careers, they're risking their lives.
But he's
so
going
please
into
support that film.
he's going into detail about what they're actually doing with these children. This is what people need to. This is what mothers need to hear, because once they hear this shit, there's no turning back.
Bravo. 85,000 kids missing from the border. You guys look at C-SPAN. 3 months ago, one of the Homeland Security whistleblowers spoke about that. 85,000 unaccount kids. Okay.
They put them into one of these tunnels somewhere, and you'll never see them again.
Now, for that guy that was talking to Maverick, and I agree with Maverick, even though we argue a lot offline, we can talk all day about who's going to win, but until we fix this bullshit election to make sure they don't cheat, we're never going to win again. Thank you.
Exactly.
Listen,
Hey,
wait,
hang
wait.
on, guys. Hang on. I want to ask Mike. Mike, you still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, Mike, I want to ask you something. I mean, me and you, we've been friends for a little while. I mean, we got hooked
Go ahead,
up
give him a kiss, Maverick.
through
No.
organization.
Don't get
you
jealous,
run.
Goose, just because he has a new friend.
What do you think it's going to take to fix all this?
Listen, exactly what you said in the beginning, a revolution. Listen, there's no other way. Like
Thank
I
you.
want to address Amber. Amber, I commend you for child trafficking. Many on this panel don't know, but I fought on our American border in Arizona, Coronado National Forest. I stopped all the drug trafficking and human trafficking across that border, and I shut down miles and miles of border. And I used to do it every single year, twice a year, 10 days out of the year. So I commend you for that. But the only thing that's going to happen is a lot of people on this panel are conflicted, and a lot of people on this panel are just waking up. That I realize. I mean, I've been speaking about this for 15 years. I pretty much. Let me tell you something. All the stuff that you're seeing right now, we predicted. I have videos from 10 years ago stating exactly what's happening today. And I've sat here and I've tried to fight 43 rallies across the states. Me and my wife, we've been to the White House, the Capitol. We've done everything, and nothing
happened.
Some people have to remember we are the final border patrol. The people of the United States protect their own border because we know the government don't do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least Florida's doing something.
Well, Mike, I hope you feel hopeful, because you were very alone 15 years ago with very few people really knowing. God bless you for knowing 15 years ago. I hope you feel hopeful that there's more people coming along trying to link arms with you to fight the corruption. And the more and more and more that learn about this corruption, the more we're going to win. The people who are running the corruption, if you think about the population of us and middle Americans versus them, we outnumber them big time. And I think that us linking arms together is going to defeat this evil stuff, because when people find out about the kids, and I hope everyone will watch the movie on Netflix. It's a documentary. It's called Taking Care of Maya. Please go watch that film. Don't watch it at night, because it'll just wreck you. I mean,
Amber,
I couldn't even sleep after watching it. But you need to watch it, because you have to know what's going on. Just like Mike was fighting the border and trying to protect children. God bless you for that, man. I know what you saw was probably horrific, and you can't unsee the things you saw. But I have so much hope that it doesn't feel like sometimes we're winning, but I do think we are, because we've defeated the COVID narrative. The child trafficking is being exploded like crazy right now. People are coming to really understand it, because they were whacking people before. If you spoke out about it, they whacked you. And so the second any Hollywood person tried to speak out about what they were seeing.
Go back to Boys Club. Back in the 70s or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, this shit's been going on a long, long time. Right. I've been over in communist countries. I stood in the blood spot of Nikolai Ceausescu and his wife, where they beat their bodies in the square, saw the bullet holes in all the buildings when I adopted my daughter from Romania. I know what this evil is. This is the evil that Eisenhower talked about in 1955. Yes, it is huge. It killed a president. What do you think we could do about it? It's because we all have to stand up together now. Everyone's finally waking up. I've been awake for 20 years. But I mean, you need the numbers to go against a machine like this. And Trump provided that for us in that short 4-year period. Right. He opened a lot of people's eyes.
Bravo,
and we need more.
Bravo, they're still charging January 6th. People, put them in jail and confining.
Those people will be fucking heroes soon. They'll be heroes, trust me.
2 days ago, they put 4 more people in jail. So if you were there that day, they're coming for you too. So I don't see this shit slowing down.
Yeah.
People are out of control.
So, Goose, do you feel there's no hope for America?
It is hope, right. God. That's a hope. God, Jesus Christ.
Right. And there is going to be a God moment in this whole element here.
I was don't think there is. 23 plus years, combat vet. Okay, these people are out of control. Yes, that Lieutenant Colonel from the Marines say the only way to fix this is a revolutionary war. You're right, but people don't have the guts to do that. Okay.
This is the revolution. Hey, what do you think we're doing here?
Hey guys,
this is an information war.
Hey guys, I've been following this for 45 years. since the 70s, I've seen it going bad. And I experienced a time when I had to go down to help with the guarding of the president. My battalion was sent down to Panama because that's when Jimmy Carter went down there and give away the Panama Canal. And I go, this ain't right. And people said, oh, you're crazy. They're going to build a new canal. Well, it's been 45 damn years and they still ain't built one.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute.
You're right.
My dad told me if a politician goes into office, come back crooked. If they ain't crooked when they go in, they're crooked when they come out. And that's what we have to worry about, because it goes from federal all the way down to unelected people in your county and your city.
Yeah.
Do you think there's hope for America?
There's hope for it if we can get people to get off their asses and leave their TV sets off long enough to figure out what's going on so they can band together.
I think we got to stop sugarcoating this shit for candy asses, because abortion is about ripping babies apart and blood all over the place. That's what needs to be seen. I mean, the reality needs to be dished out to everybody, and not this, oh, we gotta handle everyone with kid gloves because they can't handle it. Maybe they'll go insane if they find out really what's going on. Let them go and fucking insane. Something needs to be done. It needs to get to that level.
Hey, Bravo,
I mean, tell them what really happens to these children, how they're tortured and mutilated and used for sacrifices. I mean, that's what people need to hear. That's what's going to unite everyone to fight against this shit.
Well, but you know what? Bravo, I agree with you to a certain point, because I agree that people need to hear it. But you know what? There's a lot of people out there that don't want to just hear it. Unfortunately, they want to see it.
Right. That's why we make movies like The Sound of Freedom, Maverick.
You want to see the proof that things are happening.
Hey guys.
Anybody can say, well, this is happening, that's happening. But, I don't think the ones who are sitting at home and going, oh, well, it's not my problem, whatever. They're not going to get off their ass until it's thrown in their face and they see what's going on.
Now, let me ask a question. You don't mind. Who today turned the TV and watch what's going on the Capitol Hill with the John Durham interview? Did anybody watch it?
I watched parts of it.
Hey, guys.
Not that many people, and that's what I'm talking about. Something so important that you should listen to. Not many Americans watch it. Why?
Durham wasted 4 years. He didn't get nothing done. Nobody got arrested. Nobody went to jail.
It's an eye-opening. When you hear the guy who conducted the interview.
But he didn't do anything, Goose. Why the fuck?
He did a lot of things.
4 years. Nobody went to jail. One lawyer went to jail.
You haven't even read a page of what he wrote.
6 months, Goose. Who else went to jail? Who went to jail?
How many pages the report?
How many fucking people went to jail from Durham's investigation?
Don't matter how many went to jail. Read it. Read it, you understand. That's the
hey guys.
I mean, as painful as this is, we still got to get it out there. I mean,
I prove your point. People don't.
We didn't do shit, Goose.
Hello.
Raccoon, stop with your Yahoo.
I want to tell you guys something. I want to put this on your channel right now. Okay. People don't know the corruption. They don't know the daggone hurt that's been put on people. Just remember, they never buried the fetuses. They added them to our fucking food and drinks and everything, or medications, or the daggone cosmetics you put on.
Yes.
And people don't realize that, or they don't want to admit it, that they're cannibals. And that goes against God's law. He said, you will not eat each other.
Right. Okay? And they told us that.
Hold on.
Well, wait a minute. This adds to what you're saying.
It's my turn.
Now you're talking about eating.
It's my turn.
Soylent Green. They even told us that in the 70s.
Bravo. Right now, they have already proven that fast food contains human body parts in it. Okay? They already proven through commercials on those damn TV shows. You put this penis fur on your face, it'll make you look 10 years younger.
But we already
Where
know
did it come from? It came
But
from
people don't
aborted
want to
male
know about that,
fetuses.
Raccoon. I want to know about Biden. Not
But
about
he's saying,
people.
where do you think they're getting these children from?
Oh,
Right
my
under our
God.
fucking noses.
Hey guys, can I say something?
78,000 Dagon kids got taken out
Albert,
at
can
the
you
border
stop
and
with
were
me?
given to people who were not vetted.
My
And
They're
we're gonna cry to God to help us politically and get our
It's up to
country
us
back
because
when we're
God
letting
only
all these
helps those who
children.
help themselves.
Well,
God only
guys, if
helps
you
those
wanna-
who helps themselves. He doesn't. He has in his goddamn manuscript there, the Bible. It says, "No man will eat free." You have to work for what you have. You have to
That's
work
right.
for the food you put in your belly. Nobody
Hunger.
eats for free. It's in the Bible. Read it.
Well, guys, if you want to know more about, because what you're saying, Rocky, is right on. Bravo, what you're saying is right on. I did a series with a guy named Zachary King, and he was part of the Satanic Church. And he can tell you where the porn industry comes from. He'll tell you all about abortions and how every abortion is a satanic ritual, whether people realize it or not. And then he tells us what they do with the bodies after an abortion. So it was very interesting and educational. So if you go to my podcast, which is here on Podbean or Rumble, look for Zachary King, and you'll learn. If you're interested to learn more, that's where you could find that.
Right. So let's not cry to God that we have all these problems and we can't solve them in 4 years when this shit's been going on, the murdering and torturing of children. I mean, there's a price to pay for that. Look at the Bible. When Israel shed one blood, innocent blood, the whole nation paid for it. There's going to be payment here. This is a war. There's going to be more people dead before this is over. I believe it's going to be over and we're going to win in the end, but it's going to get bad. So be ready.
It's not going to be 2 years away. It's not going to be
No,
3
it's coming
months
quick.
away. It's going to take us probably 20 or 50 years to recover from all this because everything has to be restructured.
Hey.
6 corporations own all the corporations in the United States. They tell them what they're going to do, or they take them out of business and bankrupt them.
Here you go,
Well,
bro.
You think I'm lying? Look
Here,
up the
look.
research.
All right,
Mary,
look.
I hope they record this show that way they can play it
Yeah.
years later.
Look. And Mike posted something in the chat room. He said, if you want to fight child trafficking, go to the heart of the problem, which is DHS and DIFUS. That's your problem right there.
Defects.
Yeah.
What does DIFUS stand for? Department of.
We call it Department of Family and
DIFUS
Children's
is a New
Services,
Jersey term.
or Child Protective Services.
That's what they called it in New Jersey, DIFUS. Yeah.
Okay.
It stands
I forget what it's
Department of Youth.
CPS, Child Pimping
Yeah.
Services.
Okay. Family services. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a family service. I'll just tell you that.
No.
Hell no.
The Homeland Security.
It's about
Some kids
destroying
never
the
get
family.
found again.
Nope. I mean, remember when they started conditioning us with the milk carton thing? I remember as a kid looking at that saying, that's kind of freaky. What the hell is that all about? All of a sudden, just one day, the milk carton started coming with kids missing on there. Prior to that, you never had any problems. I could go anywhere, and no problems.
And after
all of a
questions
sudden,
started being
one day.
asked,
You know what? They like I say, that whistleblower from the Department of Homeland Security, she came in. She talked about that 85,000 kids. They all talking about. So, and we
But that's
had a
what they-
guy here like 2 years ago that Mary brought in from China. Mary, that I'm wrong. That the guy talked about organ trafficking from the kids and all that stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
That's part of the satanic rituals
Well,
too. That
so
made
that's
my
been
guy.
happening in
Well,
our
see-
country for long.
Well, see,
you
what
also
people
have
don't-
you also have to understand some children are used for breeding purposes, just like
That's
you
right.
do with dogs in a kennel.
Yeah.
We talked about that too. About the
organ
breeding purposes.
trafficking. Organ trafficking, that's a big
Yep.
thing going on too.
Yeah. And you got to realize, guys, when they had all these wars, World War I, World War II, and you have a lot of casualties and a lot of displacement of people and everything. So they can steal as many people as they want during those times in history. But when you have a long time of peace, they had to come up with this elaborate plan to steal children and to keep those bodies coming in, because they're not going to stop with their hunger of this shit.
Bravo, we like to deviate a little bit from what we're talking about. I want to go back to Biden because I want to know what's your plan to make sure we defeat this White House.
Exactly, Goose, because nobody's talking about that. Trump's not talking about it. Nobody is talking about how they're going to make sure that they don't cheat again.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Trump can do whatever, and everybody can do whatever.
Hey, why?
Problem. If you don't,
Maverick.
hang on, let me finish my point. If you do not fix the problem with the election system, we're never going to win another election.
Well,
what happens,
I think,
Maverick? Think about this. What happened? Why in 2016 were they so
pissed? Don't give me no fake news. Give me.
Oh, stop, Goose.
Well, I think maybe a point here with the elections is maybe Trump recognizes that we're probably as Republicans are going to have to be just as ruthless as the Democrats were.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody will step in and turn off the internet so they can't cheat.
No.
And then a fair and square election goes on.
I like what Eric said. Just do like they do. We just cheat like they do. And
They set a precedent.
They've already been doing that.
I mean, what's the other solution?
The Democrats are better at it than the Republicans.
Bravo,
Just remember, there's more daggone people who've been fraudulently elected to keep their jobs and don't give a shit about the daggone people on both sides of the fence.
Raccoon.
You're absolutely right, Raccoon.
Raccoon, I agree with you, but you need to give me a plan. We want to know, people want to know what can they expect in the next election. That they are there 18 months and might feel like 10 years.
Hey, Goose, I can answer for you. You know what we can expect? More of the same. More fucking cheating, more everything. You don't see Biden out there on the campaign trail or even talking about it. I mean,
just remember, this is going on
in 2020. He's going to sit in his basement and wait, and then the fix is in. Come that night, we're all going to go, how the hell did that happen again? Because we didn't.
Just remember, this has all been going on since the beginning of time. Whenever you have a government instilling rules, and they do it at a certain point, they get in every civilization, they get to a point to where they just flagrantly put out shit that people have to abide by, and they do it because they don't want to lose their stuff. Okay? The only way to correct this is to disassemble the son of a bitch. Take it out.
Yeah.
But the people have to want to do it. Hold on, Goose. The people have to want to do it. And if they have promises given to them, if you get me elected, I'll make sure you have your house payment. But yet they've already told everybody, hey, you'll own nothing and you'll like it. You'll rent everything and you'll work for your food and you'll work for your daggone place you're going to sleep at. That's called room and board back in the old days. But people are too freaking stupid to understand they're being played more and more, worse and worse as time goes on.
Your 15 minutes.
And Babylon must fall.
Bravo, I don't hear your plan. Don't come out with a crazy plan. Eric, your plan don't gonna work because Georgia is a thorn in our eyes. Just like Arizona with Amber. You guys got a lot of work to do to win the White House. So you need to come out with a very
Goose, you need to run. You need to go run for president. That's my plan. Go run for it. We'll all vote for you. Go ahead.
I would vote for Goose.
Our state.
I'll vote for you, Goose. I'll vote for you. I'll be your chief of staff.
Let Goose talk. Let him.
I would like to know your plan because Arizona lost. And Georgia keep doing the same thing. I can't understand Georgia. All the southern states voted for the right person. And then Georgia, the governor is Republican, won the election by 8%. Then we lost the Senate seat. I just don't get it.
The governor's a rhino.
Eric, I don't get it. Why you people are losing? I think I know why. Because the LGBT city of the world, Atlanta, is taking over your state. That's what it is.
That's how they do it. They take over a city.
They move Hollywood. How I know that? And I live in Florida, Eric. You know, the LBGT Atlanta moved Hollywood to that city and it messed up your city entirely. Now you stays in chaos. Even though you look at the map, it's entire red. Just one little spot, control and hold hostage you stay. That's what's going on in our nation and many states and
Yeah,
many
like
red states.
Portland has Oregon hostage.
Goose, they
Seattle.
almost did it with Florida. I mean, Broward County for
That's
many
true.
years.
Dade County, we lost Dade County for 20
Dade
years,
County,
and
yeah.
then Santos took over. You know, that's how we work in Florida. We work hard, we play hard. Maverick, tell them.
I hear you. I hear you, man. I hear you.
We don't
Yeah.
play that BS. We got a plan for everything we do. We don't come with
Maverick.
crazy number. We question you. You come with crazy ideas. So don't come with that stuff here. Arizona
Just
needs
think,
to go back red. Arizona,
Goose, you're
you
talking in
are
circles. Come on.
just
Arizona
think about
needs
it for a minute, Goose.
to,
Every
Arizona
daggone
needs to
large
get back.
city in the United States has enough people to overthrow the votes of the people around that city. Look at Chicago and Springfield, Illinois. Look at daggone New York and Boston and Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and on and on and on. They all have the ability to cancel out the damn state's votes with their own vote if they're ran like New York,
So if that's the
democratically
case,
controlled for
Yeah,
however.
but
Yeah,
how
but
do you
what,
have a county?
but when you
How do you
truck
have a
in,
county and you stay that voted 135%? I don't understand. Only
well, when
100%
you're
go to
trucking in
that the
stuff from
voting
New
roll.
Jersey, from a post office in New Jersey or New
Yeah.
York or
Yeah,
whatever,
but
into
we're not just talking about
on.
2020. You're talking about he's going back to Obama's time.
they've been doing. They just got more sophisticated.
They've been
They've been
doing it.
doing the
They've
same
been doing
shit.
it since
It-
World
it's
War
so-
II.
You know what? So what? Who cares to give a shit what happened in World War II? I'm talking
No,
about now.
they've been doing it
They've
since
been
World
doing
War
it.
II.
It's
But
not.
listen,
Take a
It's
look
not
at
a
it.
new thing.
Pause.
I'm talking.
Bravo, Maverick's right, Bravo. Maverick's
They
right.
just made it. They
We
just made
fucking
it a
knew
little
back when
easier.
Obama ran for office when he got 105% in Philadelphia.
125, 125, Maverick.
Yeah.
125. You're
So,
right.
but nobody batted an eye.
Right.
We all knew it. We saw the numbers. and
Because he
nobody
was
did
chosen
nothing.
by the people who control the
Right.
country to be there.
Right.
You're
Right.
telling
Who's
me-
going to go against the machine? That's
No,
my
bravo,
point.
Exactly.
There's only one way.
Hang on. hang
Maverick's right. In Florida, Broward County, Dade County, Rick Scott, when he was a
Hang on,
governor, he
Mike.
reformed. He reformed the elections in those two counties because they were cheating all the time. Who
Thank
got
you.
the, who
Thank
got the fruit? Who got the fruit, the good fruit? The Santos. Because freaking goddamn, we enforced the goddamn law here. We couldn't have no UPS truck, no FedEx, nothing around those freaking office. And by goddamn 9 o'clock, all the office had to be closed and counted for.
Hey,
And
Maverick.
and
Which
that's
means
what-
if you get the right people in, Goose, it can be done. If the right
you
people
didn't have
are in there.
ID, you didn't
Yes.
vote.
Again,
I want to
Hang
ask Maverick
on,
a
hang on.
question.
hang on. One
I want
Maverick.
to ask Maverick, and then I want to ask Mike the
Okay.
question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to know what is your idea of a solution for our election, and I want to ask Maverick, and then I want Mike to answer.
Well, I mean, first of all, you got to, if you're going to do it, you got to get rid of the friggin' mail-in ballot shit, because
Okay.
that's where the biggest problem is, because anybody can get a hold of that. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be only the disabled or somebody who couldn't make it to the polls. That's why they had the mail-in ballots. But now they've got it where anybody can get it. I get them, and I don't even ask for them, and I
Yeah.
get them. So, I mean, if you don't fix that, that's a big part of the problem, because that's where all the ballot stuffing was going and all that bullshit was coming from, was because of those things. I
You
mean,
voted
I
10 times.
don't see anybody fixing anything, and I don't know what Mike's going to say, but I mean, that's my view of it.
I'm going to agree with that, but I wanted to address Goose on two things. So Goose, okay, DeSantis is a wolf behind clothing. I don't know if you know, but I fought a bill called
Mute
in
your
the
mic,
state of
Rocky.
Florida. What's that?
I was telling Rocky to
No,
mute his
hang on.
mic. He was.
Listen, I fought a bill called HR 282, which was called the Safer Now Act, which is a full automatic gun ban hidden within the bill. DeSantis and me had a lot of words, and we had a lot of emails, and he's a wolf behind sheep's clothing. He's a fucking Democrat. I don't care what anybody says. He's a piece of crap. No one knows that because he's sitting there playing the savior on TV. Two, if I stood up tomorrow against this government, like I always have, if I stood up and I said, that's it, I've had enough, are you guys going to back me and be behind me, armed and ready? Is
Behind
everybody
you?
comfortable
Yeah,
that they're
he's-
going to back me up and be armed and ready?
I'll tell you why. He's our governor. Number one, he's done good so far in our government. So we're gonna back our government. Now, if he get out of line, we know we're gonna do what we need to do. We get him out of
Bruce,
office.
I'm warning you, and I have the emails from him showing that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Go look it up, HR 282. I fought it endlessly because I used to run the state of Florida, just to let you know when it came to a certain organization. I used to run the state of Florida. I fought
attest to that.
What? How are you like the governor or what?
I said I can attest to what Mike's saying.
Well,
I ran an organization.
Okay.
Well, it don't
Let him
matter.
finish,
You
let him
saying what
finish.
you
Can I
got.
ask
You
a
saying what
question?
you
I
got.
don't know.
Can I ask
Hang on,
Mike
let
a
him
Wait
finish.
one, Mary. You saying what you got, and I read it. Then I make my freaking own ass. I mean, my own. How you could assessment of what you talking about. That don't mean I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with him. I got my own mind. I gotta read what you got. You might be lying. I don't know.
Hey,
Right.
can I ask
And
Mike a question, please?
you know what? And I go by. I don't like DeSantis that much either, but I started looking into his background. DeSantis was it part of JAG. I mean, and he also was with SEAL Team One and deployed with them and everything. He was their legal eagle. I mean,
You guys are listening to speak.
I mean, he's. I mean, how do you know it's not? This is not all part of the plan.
All right, let him
Go
answer
look
you.
up the bill HR 282. Go look up the bill HR 282. That's what me and DeSantis had words over. That's what we were fighting over. You
Hey,
tell me if
sorry.
he's not in sheep's clothing after you read that bill. Go ahead. And then I'll wait. I'll sit here and wait for you to tell me and prove me wrong.
Okay, now I gotta ask Mike a question. Mike, do you have any contacts with state
HR
legislators?
82118, Congress 2023, Social Security Fairness Act of 2023. That's what you're talking about.
HR 282, the Safer Now Act. Look it up.
282, Goose.
All right. Anyway, while Goose is looking that up, Goose, look it up and
All right, I like to see those emails of your conversation with DeSantis.
let Amber go ahead and ask her question.
Do you have any contacts with state legislators across the country or anywhere in the country?
I do.
Yeah, pretty much in every single state there is.
If I hand you my bill, would you be able to get it in the hands of state lawmakers that you know?
If I read your bill and I agree with it, yes, and that you have to understand from a standpoint because I'm a guy who spent a lot of time picking through bills and finding out the hidden agendas within them. And I ain't saying yours has one. I'm just saying.
The HR 82, the SAFE Act.
Yes.
Yeah. Goose, read that for a little while. Educate yourself. And DeSantis wanted to vote that in. So you tell me what you think after you read that bill. But yes, Amber.
Well, before
Did he
DeSantis
vote it in?
voted that bill,
Goose,
no, wait. Let me talk.
Goose, no, read it quietly while Amber's finishing her
I
question.
don't want to read it now. I don't come with that BS.
Well,
The
all right,
freaking
and
bill.
let Amber finish
Now,
the question.
I got a guy
Goose.
that's gonna help me out read.
Goose. Go ahead, Amber.
That's it. I just need to know so you can put me in touch with Mike. I will send over my bill. He can read it. It's all my bill is simple. It just backs up the Constitution to be tried by a jury of your peers, and that right's being violated in family court. And that's basically all my bill says. It was a simple bill. It was just backing up what we should have already been doing all along. Just protecting people's rights. It's just a simple bill.
Yeah, well, if you're able to send it to Maverick can send it to me. He knows how to get in touch with me.
Perfect.
And I can take me and my wife will take a look at it because my wife also has been in this fight with me for a very, very long time. I mean, she's been a public figure. She's been on every station. So.
I'll send you the Texas bill too for you guys to look over, just so you can see it.
Well, and I think, Amber, you also mentioned to Mike that you would be interested in maybe perhaps having Mike and his wife maybe come on your show for an interview if they're interested.
She's comfortable talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. My wife is very political. Will she speak on DIFUS? It's questionable. She grew up in that system. It cost $200,000 to get her out of that system. It was a very rough play in her life. But we spent a lot of time in our years fighting the DIFUS system and finding missing children because DIFUS is very corrupt, and DHS is also corrupt. DHS is.
So you're from Jersey. You're from Jersey,
I'm
right?
originally from Brooklyn and then Jersey 23 years
Okay, yeah, because that's where DIFUS is. Everyone knows who DIFUS
I
is.
didn't know that. I'm glad you told
Yeah.
me. And you know what? And it might be too traumatic for her to rehash it, and that's fine. If she wants to, I'm just saying there's a platform for her. If she doesn't want to, that's okay too. I have 2 shows with 2 families next week about the medical kidnapping of their kids. That's next week.
Well, unfortunately, it isn't in child services anymore. If you guys want to really look at it the way you should look at it, every child is being kidnapped and indoctrinated because the schools are raising your kids, parents aren't.
There's no denying that.
Unfortunately, schools and teachers and the state have more rights over you with your kids. So
that's right. And with community schools, it's going to be even worse. And I have a resource page on my website about community schools. So I encourage everyone to go to theammashow.com, click the resource tab, look at the stuff that I've come up with so you can find out what's going on.
But guys, I mean, they didn't get rid of homeschools yet. I mean, you guys can homeschool. I homeschooled all 6 of my kids. They're all from different places in the world.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And they all love the Lord and they're all healthy. I mean, hey, it can be done. You can get them out of the system, but a lot of people are lazy and they don't want to do it.
It can be done.
I got mine out of public school.
Some parents think that they don't know enough to homeschool their own kids too.
Yeah.
I mean,
as long as they're sitting there, they could have a tutor do it. You know what I mean? So,
unfortunately, most people financially are not capable of doing it.
And most people don't realize that an academic day is only between 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5 hours. All the rest of the stuff's bullshit. So, I mean, it's not as hard as you think it is for people that are thinking about it.
I did it. I actually did full-time RV living with my kids because I had full custody of my 2 boys, 100% full custody. I did full-time RV living and I did homeschooling. So
that's cool.
I know.
Yeah.
But I want you to know what I observe, and I don't want anybody to take offense to this. Now, from this panel, you guys are all of you, and I know a lot of you guys have been in war, and thank you for your service. I know a lot of you guys have been seeing this. Thank you. But the fight for what you guys are fighting has been going on for a very long time. I mean, I had 4.2 million people underneath me 8 years ago, okay, in this country. And not only in this country, in France, Belgium, Germany, Canada, I expanded where other countries adopted our ideology and fought their governments the way we did. So,
if you were that big, how come we haven't heard of you?
Well, you can just type in Mike Rage and find me anywhere on the internet you want because I'm literally, if you Google me, I'll be the first 4 articles. I'm everywhere.
I've heard of it.
All right, yeah.
Exactly. Look, Mike knows what he's talking about. I wouldn't have invited him onto the show if I thought he didn't know what he was talking about. I've known Mike for a little while. So I know he's very, very informative. I know you may not agree with everything he says, but he's done a lot of shit and he's been involved in a lot of stuff. So, I mean, when he speaks, you really should listen to what he has to say.
I think he's done great on your panel. I think he's done great.
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, nothing.
I don't blame anybody for being judgmental or standoffish on what I say or but you have to understand in this movement, I'll call it a movement long before Trump because I've been doing this. I mean, you have to understand, I've been making videos since you had to download them on Facebook. I've been making videos since friggin' MySpace about politics.
MySpace.
Literally about politics. So I want you to understand that I've been in this fight for a long time. And not only that, I put myself in the trenches. I've had the FBI on my ass for the last 15 years. I've been to every capital. I've been to our capital. I've been to the White House. I've been everywhere. So I want you to understand, I'm not just some Joe Schmo on this panel who doesn't know what he's talking about, just speaking about what he thinks.
Hey,
Then
can you give me that bill? Because I want to make sure I look for it.
All you
Just
have
write
to
it down because I can't find that bill that you just gave me.
I'm just sad that you've had to
Write
go
it in the
through
chat
it
room, Mike, if you want.
Just write in
without
the
more
chat room.
people.
You're the library. According to you, you know everything. So can you put it there that we can copy and look for it?
I'm going to put it right in the chat. HR 282. It's called the Safer Now Act.
right. Well, I mean,
Hey, welcome to the show.
maybe Mike, you were a little bit
Because
before
if
your
you've been
time
there for
because
15 years, I mean,
the stuff you did in 15 years, now you do that now, and you're probably going to get a lot more than you
That's
did
what I
you
think.
become
15 years
president.
ago.
That's what I think.
It's in the chat room, Goose. He wrote it in the chat.
HR 282.
The Safer Now Act.
No, hey, the 15 years should be enough to become president.
Mike, did you give up? Did you stop fighting? Are you just so tired
No,
and worn out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. 282.
I mean, Mike, it's kind of like a pastor. I know pastors that said, you know what, I used to preach on the street corner, get 2 or 3 people. He goes, now I can fill a stadium. It's all into timing. The country wasn't ready for this shit yet. They're finally coming to age.
It's not that, bro.
The normies are starting to figure it out.
It's not you knowledge, it's what you know, how you draw people, how you get people to believe on you. Sometimes you think you know more than people, but you don't.
Listen.
No, I think Bravo was right with what he said. I mean,
I literally built. You have to understand, when the 3%ers started, I started from the first 2 organizations. There's now 600 people in the United States. I had 4.2 million people under me. I mentored leaders across the United States. All right, this is what I did for a living. My wife as well. My wife was a spokesperson, and when we went live, literally instantly, we had 1,700, 2,000, 3,000 watching easily. When all the major rallies that you heard of on TV, when it came down to Charlottesville, NOLA, Boston Free Speech Rally, Virginia Gun Rights Rally, all those rallies we were all involved in. My wife actually set all those rallies up herself. So I don't just sit here talking crap like I'm some big guy. I'm explaining to you that I've been all over this country. I've been in the fight. Do I feel defeated? Absolutely. I feel defeated because no matter how much you fill people with the truth, no matter how much you speak, and no matter how much you tell people what is actually happening, they don't believe it until it actually happens. They believe CNN.
That's
right.
That's correct.
Yep.
That's correct.
Hey,
that's
Mike.
the biggest problem. Everybody starts to realize that everything is weaponized, including our media.
Right.
And stop watching that bullcrap and that indoctrination. You need to research for yourself. Find a little bit of truth in every article.
So, Mike, let me ask you this. Did you stop fighting because you feel so worn out from all your 15 years?
No, I actually got cancer years ago, and I stepped down to let all the younger guys lead, which they ruined, hence January 6th. They ruined the actual movement. And I still speak very loudly all the time. I have my own podcast. I'm on a lot of YouTube panels with different types of people, liberals, black rights movements. I actually will debate all of them live on YouTube. I debate every single. Here's the thing. I'm a constitutionalist. The Constitution stands for all. Am I extreme conservative? Absolutely. But am I open to everyone's opinion, even the left? Absolutely. So for me, I fight for everybody because the Constitution umbrellas every individual, right, left, indifferent. It doesn't matter what you do behind closed doors. You still fall under the Constitution as a United States citizen. So
amen, Mike.
That they will wake up, they will stand up together and find at least one thing, which is our corrupt government, that everybody can stand up and fight together. Right, left, indifferent, it don't matter. They will stand up together to fight the one thing that really hinders us all, which is a corrupt government.
That's right.
Yep.
It's not. This, I think, could be the biggest unifying movement our country's ever seen, and I think you were definitely before your time because most of Americans were in the Matrix. They didn't see what you were seeing. They just were so blinded. They could not see what you were seeing. And I applaud you for working so hard.
Just me,
Because I
remember.
know
But
the few years I've been fighting, it's so
but
exhausting.
you know, Mike, you can't sit there and judge them. It's kind of like people that believe in Jesus like 20 years ago and walk the walk, and then they get pissed at the people that haven't that come to them 20 years later. It was your time. I mean, it was your time to do things. The shit that you didn't go unnoticed. I mean,
Well, you have to understand, Maverick was right there. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, I've known Maverick for a long time, very long time. So, it wasn't just me fighting. Listen, I wasn't, yeah, was I a leader? Yeah, but it wasn't me. It was a collective of people. No one man can take on the world himself. It was a collective of people, and Maverick was involved in that as well. And like, even though I was in the fight, like I said, I didn't have men stand behind me. I had men stand side by side with me.
Maverick, you were involved?
Yeah, that's part. I don't. I don't make it known to everybody. Mike knows it, but I don't.
Involved where?
Throw you under the bus there, but I've known him for a very long time.
That's all right, Mike. That's all right. I mean,
Yeah,
look. I mean, we hide nothing on this show. I mean,
I didn't know you were involved.
and we do this. That's the whole reason we started this show. 7 years ago was because we were tired of all the crap that's going on. And
Who started the show? You?
you and I.
Oh.
Weren't you with me 7 years ago when we started?
No, I thought you were talking about somebody else. My bad.
No, I didn't do a show before
Dude,
you.
Maverick Goose is so jealous that you have another
No, I
best
just
friend.
didn't know. I'm still looking for that.
yeah, none of us knew any of this stuff, huh?
Yeah, see, now, Bravo, when you talk shit, now you see.
Oh, come on.
No, hey, that legislation is in Congress or in the state?
So Maverick, did you have the FBI on your tail too, like this guy, or what?
No, because I'm looking for this, man, but I can't find it.
I was very loud, put it that way, and I didn't hide from the FBI. So when they knocked on my door, I'd sit there and screw with them as much as I could because I knew my rights and I stayed within my legal.
Well, that's why you're in our chat room.
Yeah, so Goose, did you find what he
No,
showed you?
Mike, just send me that paperwork. I can't find this shit.
I will send it to you. Listen, it's not hard to find. All you got to do is look up.
Yeah,
HR.
but don't talk bad about our governor.
Listen, I lived in Florida for a very long time before I moved to Oklahoma.
But what I was going to tell you that, remember, we don't live in a communist state. Legislation create and the government sign.
So are you in Florida?
Yeah, we're in Florida.
Yeah.
All right, listen, what you really need to do, and I'm going to give you a little tip. Forget DeSantis, forget the heads, because when it comes down to it, the little junior politicians in your counties and stuff, they're the ones who run shit. You guys need to go after a guy named Yermo over in Orlando. That is your target.
That guy's gay.
Huh? What?
That bunch of liberal in Orlando. You know that. Everybody know that.
Yermo is the one who goes to these junior politicians and pushes bills through where DeSantis can't do shit. I lived in Florida for a long time.
Yeah, they that's where the I-4 corridor is so freaking liberal. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got a lot. I mean, believe it or not, as free, I loved Florida. I have to be honest with you. I love Florida more than Oklahoma. Oklahoma has a lot of small town politics that I have to deal with, which is real tough because now that the FBI is always on my ass, the local PD is on my ass. In Florida, with the sheriff's department, I never had to worry about that. The sheriff's department and me used to work together all the time. Same thing with the state police. They used to actually call me when they had certain things that they were doing as far as, things for Christmas for poor children and stuff like that and disaster relief. They used to call me all the time, and I used to work with them. It's a little different in Oklahoma, even though we're supposed to be a lot more conservative here. It's not that way. Florida's a great state, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the antics that DeSantis pushes because I know him behind the scenes. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, on the surface, I mean, look, when DeSantis first came in, I didn't like him. I thought he was. I didn't think he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, but I thought that he was following Trump too much. And then when he
Right.
broke away from Trump and started doing his own thing, I started to like him a lot more because I mean, I agree with a lot of the stuff he's done, with this don't say gay bill where they don't allow you to teach our kids that garbage in school all the way up now to I think it's like high school now. And the constitutional carry here now that they did.
And you guys passed the law to ban CBDCs in Florida.
Exactly. I mean, so he's done a lot of good. I mean, now I don't know him as well as you do, Mike, so I'm not disputing anything that
Well,
you're saying.
I knew DeSantis in the beginning of his reign, so you have to understand. Everybody can change, but I
Sure.
see the for that I was fighting against, and I didn't like it. You have to understand. In Florida, I ran the most active 3% organization there was. I mean, I ran
Yep.
it across the United States, but in Florida, Florida was the most active state there was in the United States. We fought against these politicians through and through. And DeSantis was always a huge problem for me. Did he help me out once? I'll be honest, he helped me out with something once. Why I don't know, but he did. But he's still a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't like his liberal tactics. There's a lot of liberal ideology behind him, and anybody can claim to be a Republican. Listen, Trump
Sure.
claims to be a Republican, but he was a Democrat for how many years?
Yeah, I agree.
So
I
was
agree with
Ronald
that.
Reagan.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's like an old saying. It looks like a cute lizard on the ground, but when he gets in the swamp, it's an alligator.
Well, I mean, anyone can change
Well,
their
right.
viewpoints
And
and
that's what
come
Mike's
to
saying. I mean, the guy he dealt with back then, it
yeah.
may not be the same guy that we're dealing
Well,
with now.
and then the email exchanges that Mike has with Ron DeSantis, he's basically got evidence that if he's able to distribute it, say to you, Maverick, for you to read over and if
Right.
and if you're allowed to share it, but I know you'd probably have to redact certain parts, like to legally protect yourself and protect Mike.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, it's just a basic forward email, but it was very liberal in the fact that, you have to understand it was a fully automatic gun ban hidden within a bill called the Safer Now Act because people they don't read the bill, so they
Right.
say
Exactly.
and
Well, and that's what
And
they
that's
count
very
on. They
dangerous
count.
practice too,
Right.
when people don't read it.
Remember Pelosi? Let's pass it so we can read it and figure out what's in it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way they are. I mean,
listen, it's abolished. I took care of that. It didn't go through.
yeah.
Thank God for that.
But
Yeah.
Well, you have to admit there is some sort of transformation from DeSantis. And when you look at his background, who was standing with Trump during his inauguration? It was military intelligence, the military people behind him, and JAG. And he was a JAG officer. And he deployed to a lot of places with the SEALs and everything like that. You got to be pretty conservative to do that. You don't get those kind of.
Hey, and that's what, Mike. I know we haven't touched on this. I know we never talked about that. What is your feeling when it comes to Trump and whether or not he'll be back before 24? And there's.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I said, what is your thought? I know I don't think we've really discussed this. What is your thought of all this talk that Trump will be back before 24? The military will take over and put him in place and take Biden out, and all that stuff that you hear going. That every once in a while.
Listen, it's all antics. I'm going to be honest with you because number one,
It's
the
all theater.
military is never going to. The military is never going to take Biden out of office. Number one, the only way the military is going to take him out is if the people actually stand up and fight against our government. Because remember, our military is not going to fight the people. They're not going to fight their family and friends. It's just the way it is. Everybody thinks the government is in charge, but if the people listen, does everybody here remember Virginia gun rights rally?
I do.
Yeah, I do, yeah,
Right.
a little
So
bit. I
Virginia
don't-
Gun Rights Rally was a prime example. We had 100,000 people there, and what happened was it really scared the government. Okay, and that's why the government started to try to say there was an insurrection in Michigan during that whole Governor Whitmore thing
Right.
before January 6th happened. It was all set up. If you look at the FBI agent who was in charge, he was in charge of Michigan, transferred to D.C., and then the same thing happened with January 6th, and he was on January 6th commission. So
I spoke to one of the. I was going to bring him on. There's a guy that was involved that was accused of the part. He was involved in all of that, and I had him. I still have his name. I just haven't reached out to him to get him on the show. I was going to bring him on.
I know all the guys that were involved in that. Actually, one of the guys who was tried for 16 years, I actually made cry. I made him cry in Ted Cruz's office. Those guys weren't patriots, and well, some of them were, but for the majority, they weren't. And most of it was ran by the FBI. The FBI set up everything. I don't know if you know the whole story behind it, but the FBI set up everything, just like they did with January 6th. And now it's coming to light. I mean, me and my wife got accused of planning January 6th. We had nothing to do with it. We're the first ones the FBI came to.
Really?
Yeah, well, because we said, my wife. I mean, I helped in some aspects, but my wife set up most of the rallies across the United States. So we were involved with. You have to understand, when we did rallies, we did them right. So it can never fall back on us. Even Charlottesville, everything was planned.
Where'd you get the money for this? Where'd you get the money to do all this stuff? It takes a lot of money to do this.
You want to know what? You want to know where I got the money? It's called working.
What?
I made a lot of money in Florida, believe it or not. I made a lot of money. And a lot of the money that we made, we did not actually take donations or anything. We funded it ourselves out of our own pocket.
That's why they were living in an RV.
We traveled this country, literally. We traveled all over this country, spent our own money, hard work. I mean, we own 2 businesses and 3 friggin' houses. I mean, we work our asses off, so we spent a lot of, it's all out of pocket. Even DC was, we actually, for the first time, took donations and got our money locked up from PayPal. And actually, I took the money out of my own pocket and paid for it.
Stupid PayPal.
Yeah. Well, you want to know what it is when you have, when you have up to like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in donations, which doesn't cover a lot, but it covers enough. PayPal locks you up, and I took the money out of my own pocket, and like I said, this is what I lived for literally for the last 15 years. This is what I've devoted and lived for. So, I've spent probably close to $300,000 to $400,000 out of my pocket in this movement fighting.
Yeah. Well, we got about 5 minutes left in the show here.
I am really glad you brought Mike on.
Yeah, I'm glad he came. He agreed to come on. He's welcome anytime. Anytime, Mike, you're welcome to come on.
Follow, but I appreciate it, guys.
I know you're a busy guy. That's why when you told me when I saw that when you told me you got Podbean situated, I was hoping you'd come on.
You know what? I do several panels a week, so I'm on YouTube on quite a few panels, and then I do my Facebook lives, and then now I.
How do you not get censored on?
That's what
YouTube?
I was gonna say.
They censor the shit out of me every time I post anything. They say it goes against their standards, and I
got booted right away.
All right, Maverick, you've watched my videos. I say whatever I want. I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I do too, and I don't understand. I mean, I
do too.
get hammered every single time I put something up. I mean, every
one
time my video, when I'm done, the video
I don't
goes
get censored. Never get censored.
Well,
They banned me on YouTube.
Well, I know.
It's all about who follows.
I know of a few friends
I don't
that
get
got
censored.
banned.
Wait, I want to know what Mike says. It's all about what?
It's all about who follows you. All right, so here's the thing. In order for people to get you violated and take you down, you have to have a multitude of people that file complaints against you.
Well, I must have a lot then.
I must have a lot too because they banned me. And then you know what?
I mean, my video doesn't
Spotify
even get to go up. As soon as it goes there, they fucking send me a thing saying they blocked it. I'm like,
and
what
Spotify
Well-
took down one of my episodes.
Look at my block list. You'd be astonished because I probably got at least 3,000-4,000 people blocked.
I mean, it's incredible. I get so frustrated with it. I just say, fuck it. I'm not I try not to. I mean, I broadcast live there, but a lot of the time they won't, they won't put the repeat of the show up. I mean, I'm surprised they
Well,
let me broadcast live.
So a lot of people have to be blocking Maverick and I on YouTube.
Well, not
Or they
so
have to be
much.
not
I mean,
supporting you.
on the YouTube panels, here's the thing: you guys can't just go. Now, when I go directly live from Facebook, I don't get banned. But with YouTube and other channels, when I do podcasts and stuff, I go through different streams. So I don't stream straight from those platforms. So I'll go through.
I stream through StreamYard on all
I
those.
use
That's how I.
StreamYard.
And, yeah, and I get lucky with Facebook and stuff. Facebook hasn't. I mean, now they'll do it. The live show, they'll let it go. But then when it comes to putting the recorded show up, that's when they hit me.
Dude, I never ever have a problem with it. And I don't. I mean, usually I'm on StreamYard a lot, especially on YouTube. And we listen when we get a panel up there. Sometimes we got 12 people. I mean, literally. I mean, and it gets crazy, and we still don't get censored. I mean, we watch ourselves. Don't get me wrong. We do watch ourselves with certain aspects, and I've always been one to watch exactly what I say and stay within my own legal means.
Right.
But you know me. I curse and scream, and I
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, I just, I broadcast like we're broadcasting live now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and like a bunch of other places, and then we're live on radio. I mean, we're live on like 5 radio stations right now. And I never have a problem with any of the radio stations and everything. But when it comes to the recorded stuff, for some reason, it's like, well, I don't know why they don't stop now I can't say they never do because Podbean hammers me sometimes. I mean, I've lost whole shows. I mean, they've killed the feed several times. I mean, if we have a guest on who's really talking about some stuff that that is really controversial or a hot topic, they automatically start fucking with the audio or they just kill the show completely. And I've had that several times. But
YouTube deleted every single video I had and wiped out my channel.
Yeah.
Our other channel, Verbal Hangover, we deleted quite a bit of videos, but there's a lot of videos on there, especially a lot of rallies and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've lost accounts that had 16, 20,000 followers on it.
Us too. Yeah. I mean, when I started, we started on YouTube and then we moved to Anchor. And Anchor, we were up to like, I think it was, what was it? Like 50,000 Goose? Goose is paused. But I think we got up to like 50,000 followers in like 3 months. And then what they did was I went one day to go check out the stats and everything. And my show was gone. I mean, it was just, they got rid of it. And then when I questioned them on it, all they said was suspicious activity. And I'm like,
Mike,
okay.
I have a hard time believing that too.
Are you on Rumble?
Yeah.
Are you on Rumble, Mike?
I actually just joined Rumble. See, here's the thing. I'm just starting my podcast because I'm so old school. Maverick will tell you. I still do live Facebook videos all the time. That's where I do it because, to be honest with you, a lot of people follow me on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like I'm so used to doing Facebook Lives. I just started to navigate. I mean, I have a huge podcast studio, believe it or not. I mean, I got $20,000 worth of equipment here, and I don't even use it. It just sits here. So I figured I might as well start getting back into it and spreading myself out over the other channels.
Yeah.
Well, Graham Adams
I
does what you do. He just does Facebook Lives. I got to meet him in Tennessee.
I mean, we do the radio stations. I love it because we're all over, and I mean, the radio stations, we reach millions. And I think that's like, every time I get the numbers, I'm like, how can we be reaching that many people? But I mean, it's just
Well,
it's awesome. I mean, I love it. I mean, yeah. I mean, and we
well, I
say
know
what
you're
we
running
want.
short of time, but we
Yeah,
definitely would like to have Mike come back.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back.
I appreciate you guys. I mean, I'd love to come back if you guys have me.
We run a show. We run the show every Wednesday, Mike. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
And then Thursday is up where you can watch the YouTube panel. Every Thursday, we have a show called Guns and Butter.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if you watch that, you'll get a little idea. There's a lot of constitutionalists. We do get some liberals on. Don't get me wrong, but you'll be able to see the very actually civil debates and educational facts that come out. There's a lot of knowledgeable people on there. I'm telling you, you're going to listen to these
check
people.
you guys out on Thursday. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
what time?
What time? You'll be. It all depends, man. I'll usually post it on Facebook. We also have, I don't know if you remember Michael Server. He has Angry Snowman. We go on his panels a lot. I'm all over the place, all over YouTube. It's just a matter of finding the panels. And I'll tell you what, it's worth it because you get to hear different perspectives, different cultures, different everything. And everybody coming to certain understandings. And it's kind of like the hope for the future of a type of unified front to fight this corrupt government,
Absolutely. That's what we need. I mean, we need more people speaking out, and I mean, it gets frustrating. I admit. I mean, when they knock my show and I lose, when they wipe my shows off, and we talked about Michelle Obama one day. We made a big thing talking about all the facts that are out there that she's really a guy, and then when the show was finished, it disappeared. I lost it never even made it. It just disappeared. Nobody knew where it went.
You want to laugh? I had a video, and you guys are going to die with this. So I had a video where I actually wiped my ass with Obama's face on a magazine.
Wow.
I swear to God. It must have got fucking.
Do you believe he was the first gay president, like Joan Rivers says?
Well, you know what happened to Joan Rivers for saying that.
Yes, I do.
You want to know what? I don't really care what he was. My biggest problem is that he was, again, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Exactly.
He was Clinton. I strongly believe he was Bush and Clinton's puppet.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think he rose up to power a little too much, and I think he's pulling strings now behind the scenes as well.
Oh, I do believe that.
I believe that too.
He already said it on tape.
I hate to end this show.
Part of the Chicago mob, man. Yeah.
I hate to end it, but we're running out of time. I mean, I'm already over my 2-hour mark, and I know they're going to cut me soon. I want to thank you again, Mike, for coming. Like I said, we're here every Wednesday. You're welcome back anytime.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
and I know a few
I
other
want to thank
podcast shows that would be interested in having Mike.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was something he can. I don't know. We can talk about that and see if he wants to do anything.
Hey guys, I just want to let real quickly. I just want to let you guys know I didn't kill myself.
All right, we appreciate that.
Thank you, Raccoon.
All right, I want to thank everybody from 105.7 FA's Patriot Radio, ERT Radio, MBR, Military Broadcast Radio, UG Media in the UK, J Parker Radio, Paisley Radio, FCM Live, Sword Radio, the Hit Network, FTM Radio, and Crystal Radio in the UK. I want to thank everybody on Facebook and YouTube who are listening tonight. We appreciate you guys coming out. A lot of good feedback there. We'll be back next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bravo, you want to do a quick prayer before we get out of here?
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, we thank you for this broadcast, Lord. We thank you for the people that are here, Lord. We just ask for your heavenly protection. Lord, we ask for your wisdom and knowledge. And Lord, help us to just spread your word in love and in knowledge. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Again, thank you, everybody, for coming out. Amber, Mike, Rocky.
See you around the pod bean, everybody. can look for.
I'm
And
so glad I missed you guys. I missed you, Maverick and Goose and
Thank you.
Bravo and I love you, Rocky. Thanks for being on the panel.
all right, we're out of here.
Bye, Amber.
This is Alex Jones, and you were listening to my friends Maverick and Goose. Make sure you come back next week for a new episode.
I'm an American badass, a bad motherfucker. I've been getting to the business since a bad little youngster. Holding me since I was knee high. Off them trees I've been high. 80s baby going crazy, let the truck go rob me. I'm an American badass, a bad motherfucker. I've been getting to the business since a bad little youngster. Holding me since I was knee high. Off them trees I've been high. 80s baby going crazy, let the truck go rob me. I've been American badass ever since I hit some britches. I've been jugging in the trenches. I've been getting to the business. I was brought to be relentless. I be on go like a ninja. Listen up and pay attention. One football away, you miss it. Yeah. That's where I'm from, but don't play no games. You get a airbrush shirt with your face. Man, a lot of summer and it's some cocaine.